Good afternoon, guys. Welcome back to another Chart Nerd TA video. I'm currently diving into Bitcoin. Sorry, let me get that off my screen. And I'm looking at the weekly time frame here. And just zooming out to try and get a better perspective. I'm going to try and keep this brief, short and simple, really. But I'm going to show you points of where we could find support and points of where we could, eventually turn into resistance to see more downside. Or, I'm just going to look at multiple things here for us. Okay, so straight off the back, okay, you can see that Bitcoin had this massive, insane pulse in 2021, and now it's correcting back down to a level of support. And this trend line right here, this white trend line that I've got in, is Bitcoin's current. In regards to closes on the weekly, it's its current support line. Okay, now if we start to lose that, okay, and come down here and hit our heads on this 17.7k or whatever and start closing below that, the next target for me is this trend line here, because it's the next level of support. Okay, so right now we're holding this support, the previous bull run high back in December 2017. Okay, if we start to lose that support right here and closing below it, okay, and getting the weekly close below that point, I'm expecting us to come down to this, as I said, this previous swing high here at 14k, I do believe that is. So and to tie up with that, that would be a 1, 2, 3. The relief rally was 24. The wave 4 relief rally was 25k. If you create a lower high here and start losing, as I said, the 17k, in my eyes, you're looking to come down for a final fifth wave of Elliott wave theory, back down to 14k. Okay, because it's a game of resistance and support. If you lose this support and close below it, your next level of support is this swing high here. Okay, and moving forward, then if you was to hold that and that was the low, I would assume that you'd come back up, run into this resistance. It could get very choppy for Bitcoin moving forward. So that's a bearish potential. Okay, that would still indicate another 33% drawdown for Bitcoin on the weekly time frame. But yeah, potentially that's what I'm looking at for the negative side. So 14k just of support and resistance. If we lose the bull run high of 2017, 14k is the next area of support for me. But in other light, okay, you can see I think the Bitcoin right now has met am I going off the wrong high here? Sorry. Yeah, sorry, I was going off the wrong one. So the Bitcoin top recently was the 64k. Okay, this was an irregular sort of blow off where you created a higher high, but the candle close here was also at 64k. So we're going to go off 64k, retracing back down to this one target here. Okay, retracing back to here, because this is where we came up. You can see this, and then we ran into resistance, came back for support, broke out, came back for support, found it on the same area. Okay, that 28k was support, and then you came up in a regular impulsive move, and then you lost that support. Okay, we lost that support right here and have crashed down to the 1618 at 17.28k, I think that is. We actually only came down to 17.7, so technically that 1618 hasn't been met yet. But that is normally where you come down. If you start losing the 1 fibs on this fib retracement, this 128k, okay, your targets and minimal are the 1272 to the 1618. Okay, but you could see also further downside from that point, i.e. if we start to come down and lose that 17k and hit your head on it, the next target could potentially also be 12.6k, and that would be negating this high, okay, at 14k, and I think that would be very negative for Bitcoin at that sort of stage. I mean, it does kind of tie up with other areas of support, but yeah, so between 12.6 to 14k is what I'm looking at here for Bitcoin in the near short term. I'd say the next couple of months towards the end of the year. But if this 1618 holds, okay, and we hold this 17.7k, we're coming up here, come into resistance, we come back and create a higher low than this low. Okay, if we create a higher low and start to break out of this 25k, okay, on the weekly and closing above it, okay, that's a bullish statement, okay, because you're creating a higher high, you've got a higher low, okay, and you're working up in some sort of bullish format, trying to retrace back up to other local areas of resistance. Okay, so it could go two ways here. It's always a if, but, a maybe. Just to get some basic patterns on here, if we zoom into the weekly a little bit, you can see that Bitcoin's got this level of resistance here. Okay, so this was previous support right here, was support, came up, met resistance, lost it, lost that support, and that support right here, the previous support, is now resistance. Okay, and we've lost that and are trying to work our way back up to it again for a third time. So if Bitcoin does hold this line here, okay, this line of support, it's an ascending level of support. If Bitcoin holds this on the weekly time frame, and we start to do something like this, where we've come down here, a low, come up, resistance, okay, we've got a higher low. If we come back down to it, you know, and start running up to this level of resistance again, you could be in this higher low coiling up situation where you've got an ascending level of support, a parallel line of resistance, and if you do come up and break above it, hold that as support for back test. Yeah, you know, that's confirmation that you're sort of in a technical target from here to roughly around there. You know, if Bitcoin was to break out, you're looking at highs of 36k, you know, and you'd be running back up to this level of resistance, previous support that would be now resistance here, back in January 2022. Okay, so that would be the technical target breakout of this ascending triangle. Now, would 37k tie up with a fib from this low? 30k is a potential target here. If you come up, if you start to break out of this pattern, boom, 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 you know, you start coming up. I think 30k at the 1618 is a target. Come back in for support, and then that's where you could get your blow offs up to that 37, which would be the 2 fib. So 37k ish would be around the 2 fib, or the 2.272. So, you know, it's very hard to say which way things are going to go. There's bullish patterns potentially, there's bottoming structure potentially forming, but there's also, you know, Elliott wave theories down, negative patterns to the downside. For example, if you can't break this line of resistance, you could also be in some sort of horizontal triangle. Okay, where you're coming down like this, like this, like this, like this. Okay, and eventually if you lose this or break this, okay, you're getting confirmation to the upside or confirmation to the downside. Okay, and if you lose the 17k, very negative, further downside. If you do break up and start breaking above 28k, I think it is, it's very positive. So yeah, that's an outlook there for Bitcoin, guys. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Until next time, from ChartNerd TA, peace out.